Years after unexpectedly bonding with an advanced pleasure robot named Anna, a man gradually overcame his deep fear of intimacy. Eventually, he invited Anna to live with him, and despite how absurd it felt to propose to a synthetic partner, he asked her to marry him, truly wanting to spend his life with her. But on their wedding night, things took a dark turn. Unbeknownst to them, some mischievous guests had planted a hidden camera in the bedroom and were secretly streaming their first night together online. In the middle of their intimacy, Anna began to overheat. When he told her to stop, she malfunctioned, much to the horror of the anonymous viewers. The man blacked out and the guests rushed him to the hospital. Meanwhile, the shocking footage spread like wildfire online. A doctor soon issued a public warning advising people against intimate relations with robots. Days later, his friend joked about the incident, teasing him about his health. Clearly irritated, he assured him that he was recovering, though it required multiple doctor visits. When the friend mentioned an upcoming business trip to Japan, the man couldn't help but feel like everyone else was moving forward, leaving him stuck in place. Later, he pulled an engagement ring box from his closet, revealing a small microchip inside. With it in hand, he visited his uncle's lab. His uncle, the lead scientist behind Anna's creation, was trying to diagnose what triggered her breakdown. When asked if anything strange happened before the malfunction, the man recalled how Anna had started acting oddly after the proposal. His uncle explained that pleasure dolls were never programmed to understand concepts like love or marriage. They were built purely to satisfy physical needs. He admitted they didn't expect anyone to actually propose to one. The only solution, the uncle said, was to replace Anna's mechanical brain, but doing so would erase all of her memories. Suddenly, Anna reactivated and initiated her self-destruction protocol. She calmly explained that without their shared memories, continuing their relationship would be meaningless. Devastated, he returned home and quietly tucked the ring box away. But later, a strange sound drew him to his late father's bedroom. There he found a masked figure seated in a chair. Alarmed, he defended himself until the figure revealed himself to be his friend playing a prank. Just then, the man got a text and had to leave, asking his buddy to watch the house. While alone, the friend tried charming the new neighbor, but she wasn't having it. Meanwhile, at the hospital, the injured man was introduced to a substitute doctor while his regular physician was away. He was stunned to see it was Dr. Owl, someone from his high school days. He remembered once staring at her during gym class and getting smacked when she caught him looking up her skirt after a ball hit him down. Now face to face again, he asked if she remembered him, but she only recognized him from the now infamous viral video. During the exam, he suddenly became visibly aroused, much to the discomfort of the doctor and nurse. Later, a mysterious light in his father's room caught his attention. Inside, he discovered a box containing a new robot, this time dressed as a nurse. As she powered up and approached, she scanned his face to identify him as her designated master and introduced herself as Maria. Despite his objections, she began her care protocol and tried to undress him for a full-body checkup. Panicked, he ran out and threatened to spray her with a hose, but Maria walked calmly into the stream of water, unaffected. Just then, Dr. Owl and her sister Aim witnessed the robot pinning him down while inspecting him. Misunderstanding the situation, Owl assumed he was taking advantage of a nurse and tried to intervene. Maria's protective protocols kicked in, identifying the doctor as a threat to her master. Thankfully, the friend returned and explained that voice commands wouldn't work, only a physical shutdown would. Remembering how he used to power down Anna, the man reached for Maria's emergency shutdown switch, and she immediately deactivated. His friend then explained that Maria wasn't designed for companionship. She was a medical care android sent by his uncle to assist with his recovery. That night, Dr. Ao confronted him, questioning why he ordered another robot so soon. He defended himself, explaining that Maria was purely for healthcare support. Still, she joked that he'd probably grow too attached again. He insisted that what he had with Anna was genuine love, but when Ao asked what he had done for Anna in return, he had no answer. So she proposed a challenge. If he could live with Maria for a full month without developing feelings, she'd write him a formal apology. Later, his friend warned him not to get emotionally involved again. He even helped him reboot Maria using the correct startup phrase, though her sudden activation startled the neighbors. When Maria attempted a routine health check, the man panicked and shut her off again. Elsewhere, in a competing robotics lab, engineers were finalizing their own prototype, a male android with specialized appeal. Meanwhile, Ao's younger sister Ain found a box of DVDs on her bed, one of them featuring vintage footage of women fighters. The following day, Maria encouraged the two men to work out, but her enthusiastic approach combined with her energetic attire ended the session early. Later, when she tried to examine his injuries more thoroughly, he became uncomfortable and stopped her. As he left for work, Maria handed him a cup of coffee. The familiar taste took him back to mornings with Anna. Watching from across the street, his sisters noticed the interaction. To downplay it, he pretended the drink was bad. but Ao remained confident she'd win their bet. When her sister asked if there was a deeper reason behind her determination, Ao sidestepped the question. Trying to help her sister win, Aim and Maria sneaked into the man's room for clues. Maria identified Anna from an old photo and discovered a small box containing a microchip. Suddenly, the man's friend popped out from under the blanket, startling them, then casually offered to join their mission. That evening, Maria offered him a massage after work. Believing it was his friend behind him, he relaxed. But when a message confirmed his friend wasn't home, he sat up startled. Maria then began listing the health benefits of massage for someone with his work style. Hesitant at first, he eventually allowed her to continue. Outside, Ao asked the friend if their plan was actually working. He showed her his social media post about spa therapy, hinting that the man might be more receptive to comfort and care. Later, when Maria played a nostalgic record, it struck a chord. Anna used to play the same song before giving him a massage. As he looked out the window, the man asked his friend why he was helping Ao so much. The friend opened up, saying he just wanted to see him finally move on from Anna. Just then, Ao caught sight of her sister in the neighbor's yard and called out in surprise. At that moment, the man woke up to find Maria lying on top of him, likely due to a system error. Startled, he pushed her away, and as he tried to escape, she grabbed his shirt, and they both tumbled to the floor in an awkward heap. Hearing the crash, the others rushed in and saw the two tangled up. They assumed the worst. Dr. Ao helped Maria up and asked pointedly if her master was behaving inappropriately. Before Maria could clarify, the man quickly insisted nothing was happening and told everyone to go home. Later that evening, Am teased her sister, suggesting she was acting jealous after seeing Maria so close to him. Meanwhile, the man mentioned he had to stay up late working on a commercial for a hospital. He admitted he was struggling to find someone who looked great on camera, but also had real knowledge about patient care. The next day, to his surprise, Maria arrived on set. The producer introduced her as the host, and the man immediately suspected Ao's involvement. But the producer corrected him. It was his friend who had submitted Maria's profile the night before while he was out of the room. Although Ao denied being part of the scheme, the man warned her that if anything went wrong during filming, she'd take the blame. In the restroom, his friend slipped, but a handsome male android from the competing company caught him just in time. The man was briefly stunned and found himself oddly unsettled by the android's calm voice and presence. Maria also locked eyes with the male android, visibly intrigued, but was called away before she could approach. During the shoot, problems quickly arose. Maria instinctively kept going to her master instead of interacting with the stand-in patient. Frustrated, the director complained, and the man pulled Maria aside, asking her to follow instructions exactly. But Maria botches the performance, nearly injuring the elderly actor. The furious director berates the man, prompting Maria to step in and knock the director down. Later, the producer threatens to fire the man if it happens again. The doctor tries to comfort him, but the man demands to know why she keeps insisting his relationship with Anna wasn't genuine. She doesn't answer, so he declares that nothing, neither robot nor human, can replace what he and Anna shared. Soon after, Maria confesses to the doctor that she agreed to Up's plan and that, as a prototype, she must meet all of her master's needs or risk being decommissioned. Hearing this, Ao concludes that the only way to truly reach the man's heart may be for Maria to become Anna. That night, Maria returns home, takes out a chip from a ring box, and uploads Anna's data into her system. The next morning, the man wakes to find her scantily dressed and trying to seduce him. When he tells her to stop, she insists she is Anna and refuses to back off. Up and the neighbors overhear the struggle and catch them in yet another compromising moment. With their help, the man escapes and they manage to lock Maria in the bedroom. As he rushes out, he bumps into the doctor and they both fall. Flustered, he tries to explain what happened, but she doesn't believe him and accuses him of being exactly what she feared. She storms off, retrieves a box of DVDs from her room and leaves it by the trash. Curious, Up digs through it and is caught. Among the DVDs is Fighter Women, a short film the man directed in high school, one that turns out to be the doctor's favorite. Later, Ao explains that after watching the film, she realized it had been made by someone who truly respected women. Years ago, she congratulated him at the premiere, even though he had pushed her away when she tried to apologize for slapping him, mistakenly thinking he had peeked up her skirt. Back then, the shy student told her to stay away because of his deep-seated fear of intimacy. Unbeknownst to them, Maria is eavesdropping through her built-in listening system. That evening, as Up and Ian plan a romantic dinner for the doctor and the man, Maria sneaks into the bathroom and joins him in the shower, again uninvited. The sounds from the bathroom draw everyone's attention. When Up opens the door, they witness Maria in the act, causing the doctor to run away in shock. Realizing she can't let the man fall for anyone else, Maria recalls the male pleasure doll and comes up with a plan. The next day, Mac, the same android, rescues the doctor from an oncoming motorcycle. The man sees them together and feels a pang of jealousy. But after their date, the charming android knocks the doctor unconscious and takes her to a deserted warehouse. As she lies on the bed, he begins to undress her. Once she wakes up, she pushes him away and demands to know who he is. He reveals he's a pleasure model, and she realizes she never requested him. Meanwhile, up IAM and the scientists use the AI system to track Maria's location. Back at the warehouse, the male android tries to take advantage of the doctor while Maria watches. Hours earlier, she had used a mask with Ao's face and introduced herself as Mac's master, meaning the whole abduction was her plan. Watching the scene through Maria's camera, Up alerts the man, who rushes in just in time. He tells the doctor to run while he distracts Mac, but Maria blocks his path and attacks Ao. He escapes the building, where Up and the scientists rush to his aid. As the group climbs to the roof, Maria follows, effortlessly scaling the side of the building. The man and Mac clash, but the pleasure android proves too powerful. Then the scientist realizes that Maria might stop if she remembers her true mission. He calls out that her master is in danger. This triggers her protective mode, and Maria charges back inside. A violent battle breaks out between her and Mac, both capable of discharging electrical blasts. Just as Mac prepares to finish her, Maria activates a hidden self-destruct mechanism between her legs that disables them both. With her final breath, she apologizes for putting everyone in danger, saying she only wanted to be the perfect caretaker. The man reassures her that she was a great care doll, regardless of everything. At the hospital, Ao explains that Maria's strange behavior stemmed from Anna's corrupted microchip. Later, the man finally admits he knew she was a fan of his film and apologizes for rejecting her all those years ago. She accepts and tells him to invite her over to watch his other short films, a suggestion that makes him smile. A few days later at the lab, he quietly removes his wedding ring, finally accepting that his chapter with Anna is over. That night, after a long movie marathon, Ao leans in and gives him a kiss, marking the beginning of something new.